Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Make sure as you come in, you hit that like and share button. Also, if you are new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure your notification bells are set so you are notified every single time I drop a new video. Okay, today you guys, we are going to get into decision making. Now, I know everybody has been talking about woulda, coulda, shoulda, what Holly could have did, what Romeca could have did, what Carlos could have did. Well, today we are going to break down the different things that each person could have done to likely prevent what the outcome was of this tragic event. So make sure you guys comment down below and tell me each time of what you think, if you agree or disagree, or how you think they could have done anything better, or if you think that method could have worked. Okay? All right, let's get started. Okay, first let's look at Romeca. The first decision that people have been constantly saying throughout this whole entire story is that Romeca should have kept driving and never stopped. Now, I think to me that's just common sense. The whole situation would have never occurred if Romeca would have stopped. Now, we can all pretty much agree on that. Let me know if you disagree with that decision. Now, according to witness statements, Carlos was able to calm Romeca down and get her to get back in her car, back in the driver's seat when he thought she was calm, only for him to walk off to go to his car, allegedly to move the car, to look back and see that she had jumped out the car a second time. And this is when he allegedly came and put her in the chokehold. Now, do you agree or disagree if she would have stayed in the car and drove off after she calmed down, that it also would have avoided this tragic situation? Let me know in the comments. Now, let me say this, you guys. These are the things that I think that Romeca could have done. Those are the only two things that I feel that she could have done on her part to maybe have avoided this entire situation. And that's really just not even stopping at the scene, or when Carlos was able to calm her down and get her back in the car, that she just got in the car and just waited for him to move his car and calm down and just drove off. Now, this is my opinion. Now, if you disagree, once again, you are welcome to tell me why you may or may not disagree. Now, the very first thing, in my opinion, that Holly could have done, as soon as she seen Romeca, or she was able to identify that it was Romeca, was immediately pick up the phone and dial 911, because she had a restraining order. Get on the phone and say, hey, listen, such and such just pull up. I have a restraining order against her. That way she would have already notified the authorities that someone was approaching her that had a restraining order. That would be my first thing to do. As soon as I see her, call 911. Grab my phone, call 911. Especially if Carlos is already walking toward her to restrain her. That gives you enough time to pick up your phone and call 911, not engage in an argument with her. The second thing I feel like Holly should have done was, once she was able to see that Carlos had Romeca restrained, either the first or the second time, that would have been the perfect time for her to grab her baby and leave the scene, which means she could have walked off or anywhere, got behind somebody or something, just to get away, and enough time to call, once again, call 911 and let them know what was going on. Now, I think a lot of people have to understand the number one things that they look for when it comes down to shooting somebody or taking somebody's life and you're claiming self-defense. The first thing that a judge or jury is going to look at: was there enough time for you to make a different decision? Was there enough time for you to have called 911? Was there anything that you could have done differently? And if they find at any point that you could have done anything different, that's going to kind of determine the outcome, in my opinion. Now, I feel that there was plenty of different occasions that Holly could have done something different. And the reason why I say that is because she had Carlos there to restrain Romeca. He was able to restrain Romeca twice, which gave her time to possibly call 911 or to possibly leave the scene. Even if she had to leave by foot, Carlos was able to restrain her at any given point. But she chose to engage in a verbal altercation with Romeca. Now, guess what she could have done with that time? Secondly, now another theory that I have heard is that Holly never went to the car to retrieve the weapon, that she had the weapon on her the entire time. Now, this is just my opinion, you guys. I personally do not believe that, because look at her attire. Where did she have the weapon at? Look at her pants. Her pants are very tight knit to her body. Where could she have possibly in her coat pocket? So it is said that she was carrying the baby to the car. So you had a car. I'm sorry. You had the baby and you had the weapon in your pants, in your shirt. I'm just asking a question. And I'm pretty sure that will come out at trial as well. But these are one of the questions that I had. Where did you have it at? I believe that she retrieved it from the car, which would give her enough time, once again, to think about her actions before she proceeded to do that. So that is why I feel that this whole thing could have been avoided, because there was enough time to put a lot of thought into your behavior and your actions to maybe have avoided this situation. Now, am I saying that Holly did not have a right to feel the way she feels and defend herself? Absolutely, she had a right to defend herself. However, Carlos was there to restrain Romeca. So there was some time there for you to make a different decision. And just because that you are licensed to carry a concealed weapon does not give you the right to take somebody's life. And if in the event you feel like you have to use your weapon, you need to shoot to disable, not shoot to take a life. That is what you are taught in a weapons class. At least that's what the weapons class that I attended, that is what they teach. They teach you to call 911, and in the event that you have to use your weapon, you are to use it to shoot to disable, not shoot to kill. And that's just my opinion about that situation. She had every right to feel the way she feel. I just didn't feel like she had the right to, maybe go as far as she did. And, I wasn't there. I don't know. This is my alleged opinion. And these are the same questions. These are the same theories. These are the same thoughts that judges and juries are going to have when looking at this case, or I feel they may have when looking at this case. Did you have another way that you could have handled this? Was this your only way to defend yourself against this young lady? I mean, ask yourself that. Do you feel this was the only way she had, or do you feel there was other ways she could have handled the situation? There was different decisions Romeca could have made. Do you feel that there are other decisions that Carlos could have made? There are decisions that all three of them could have made differently. Romeca could have left the scene. Holly could have called 911 when the time presented itself. She could have left the scene. She could have, in the event she felt she needed to use her weapon, she could have shoot to disable. There are many different things. Carlos could have, even when he was restraining Romeca, he could have told Holly, hey, listen, I got her. Get out of here. Leave. I got her. But she chose to engage in an argument. So that's where my questions come in at, y'all. And I'm pretty sure, again, these are questions that you probably have and other people do. So anyway, you guys, please let me know what you think down below. Leave a comment whether you agree or disagree, and tell me why. Again, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And also make sure you check your notification button. And I will see you guys on the next video.